popular frameworks, the popular ways that people that use your platform are likely to prioritize different bits of feedback?
Amazing, happy to do so. Before that, maybe I just wanted to briefly thank you for having me today. It's great to be here. Yeah, for context, airfocus is an end-to-end product management platform. So our customers are typically non-tech first, mid-sized to enterprise companies that are not all as sophisticated as all of the people in this room here. We're all working in like software and tech companies. They are kind of old school companies sometimes, going through digital transformation and starting to build like tech internally or kind of disrupting their own product portfolio, etc. So they have a very different context, and that's also the kind of the context from the things that I can share today. Yeah, so yeah, most of our customers, they as you said, use airfocus to manage and triage feedback, and the things that I can share are more like tactical details or basics of how to set up such a system. So first and foremost, it really starts by like making sure to centralize feedback in one central place, in one single platform. And it's more of a mindset thing, right? Like if you start out and you're not like literally centralizing feedback, which many organizations still don't do. They don't have a structured way. You have no idea what type of product organizations are out there. It's also fine to just like maybe start with 1 or 2 channels. Just get into the mindset of centralizing feedback in one place. Integrate your CRM, your support ticket tool, your NPS surveys, and then also make it super easy for stakeholders and your customers even to submit feedback. Because as it was said a few times on this session today, getting feedback and getting these customer requests, this is a good thing, right? It's a good signal in most cases because it enables you to make better product decisions. And then it's really about in a second step about what to do now with all that feedback. And the whole airfocus platform is hyper modular and built around the idea of flexibility, and that is also very true for segmenting and managing customer feedback. We have not seen that one way to do that. It's always very context driven. So you want to set up like a flexible tagging system that is just like made for your situation, for your company, for your teams. This may include segmenting feedback by user personas, product areas, jobs to be done, you name it. And then also with the latest technologies, just make sure to not spend too much time with the product team categorizing stuff manually that a machine can do better. So make sure to use these AI tools to do a lot of the pre-work that you can then look at. Because it's easy to spend a day per week as a product manager sifting through all the feedback. That's not what you want to do. And then the key part, why you're doing these first 2 steps, is to generate these unique insights that help the product teams make better decisions and solve the right problems in the discovery, in the delivery. And yeah, this is like a topic that I could talk for hours about. But yeah, you really want to make sure that whatever the object is on the product team, be it like a roadmap initiative, a product opportunity, a feature, make sure that if there's feedback that is relevant for that object, that it's intelligently linked and that you can trace back the user or the customer who gave that feedback. So you can, first of all, really understand what the problem is. And secondly, once you've actually solved the problem, you want to close the feedback loop and get back to these people, maybe invite them for a user test, or just simply tell them, hey, we solved your problem, check it out, in order to retain them. And then as part of the product development process, and we talked about prioritization before, what we see work well is to ruthlessly include these insights or some insight score into your prioritization framework if you use one. I'm a big fan of simple frameworks, not making it complicated with 8 criteria or so, but like the customer voice, the insights, be it just a simple insight counter, should be part of any prioritization decision in these like later stages when you have a long list of problems to solve and you just need to prioritize stuff. Yeah, and then approach feedback management like you would approach any topic as a product manager in this continuous improvement mindset. Yeah, what you have today will not scale and work in 6 months. Everything is going to change. Your customers are changing, your markets are changing, and you want to be like very flexible also, and yeah, just be open to change.
One more question then before we open the questions out to the rest of the panel. I'm curious about prioritization and bias in product teams. And I guess the question is, how do you know that you're making the right decision? Are there biases that creep into product decision making that are easy to eliminate? Where would you kind of focus first with that? And I wonder if also you could reflect on whether, I mean, you mentioned the difference between a mid-market business and more mature enterprise businesses, whether you think there's a different flavor of bias that those kinds of businesses are vulnerable to in the way that they consume and process customer feedback.
That's a great question. Maybe let me answer the second part first. Yeah, I mean, when there's like large organizations, there is typically more complexity and longer communication cycles and just more data to process. And when there's more complexity, it's very easy to not get the full picture and then kind of take shortcuts, which may be like all these biases that you can think of, right? If you lack the data, you just find another way to make decisions. And yeah, what I've experienced a lot are recency biases. So product teams overemphasizing more recent feedback or product data, and with that neglecting longer term trends or historical insights, or sometimes like these larger strategic decisions that were maybe made like 9 months ago, but that are actually still pretty valid. So this is just very difficult to mitigate, but one way to do that is just as a team to practice this regular self-reflection. Yeah, maybe in these like decision makings, assign one person in the group with the head of the past looking person. So kind of like a role play. You ask that person to make arguments in the favor of like more recent feedback. Another mitigation tactic could be to just very ruthlessly add acceptance criteria. So when you make these decisions, just make sure you check the box, not just check the box, but literally do the task of setting the filter to look back 9 months ago, 2 years ago. Is that kind of preventing yourself from this recency bias? Another thing that I'm seeing a lot is like the bandwagon effect. So you're following trends without really critically evaluating whether this applies to you or makes sense for you. And I think there are quite some use cases around AI lately where you're just like following the trend, and you think you have to build AI into your product, and you have to have that AI summary here and there. And another point that falls into that category as well is like the extent to which you look at competitors. This is like a really difficult problem because I'm super guilty of just like being competitor obsessed. But I know it's not a good thing, and I'm forcing myself to not look at them too much. I'm just like a paranoid person with that as a founder also, right? The incentives are different. But it's usually not a good thing, right? You want to work on your strength and don't constantly compare yourself to some other companies that have a very different context.